What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite host and jealous hater, Apoc, and welcome back to the channel. Here we are yet again with Cold Tea. How's it going?
Long time no see.
So today we're gonna do what I've done before quite a bit on my channel, where we highlight some really comments from communities, and I've always done, vlog communities. I've done Okay Baby, Just Fam, Cake and Baby J, my typical targets. But today I wanted to highlight some from the Dad Challenge podcast community because they're just as, or they're even worse. Some of the things that they say on his channel, or when I come over, when anyone makes a video on him, sounds like something he would say. The excuses and justifications that these people give to this so-called man just blow my mind. It never shocks me when someone says something like they do, but then sometimes it does, because it's like, how can you justify or excuse this behavior or what he said, and then try to make up something on the fly to make you feel better? Because that's what it just seems like.
I've definitely seen the comments where people will really reach for the stars and try to find some excuse or explanation in order to justify or explain some just pretty much outright bad things that I assume most people would think were objectively bad. Kind of how I think of it is, if another person was doing this thing, say another person that they don't like was doing this thing, would they still explain it away? Would they still have all these defenses for it? Probably not.
If it was me or you or anybody else who criticizes DCP, that his cronies would be pretty vocal about it and how they don't like it. I mean, they've done it before with me. I mean, like I said, I've made a comment on Kira's butt before, and they dragged me to hell for it. But DCP can literally circle boobs and rape bodies, and it's all jokes. He has never apologized for it. Those were excused, shrugged off, and justified. It's all snark. It's all joking, right?
Yeah, I mean, you took your lick for what you said and you apologized. And the most important part was you apologized, but then you stopped that behavior that people didn't like.
Exactly.
Because in my opinion, an apology means nothing if you continue to do the behavior that you had previously apologized for. In my opinion, that apology is null and void. But these people don't care.
No, they don't care.
They'll just say he's apologized for it, and it doesn't matter if he stopped doing it or not because he apologized for it. So he sees that it was wrong, but he's going to continue doing it.
And they'll just be like, well, I don't care what anyone says, outside of my echo chamber, so we should just move on from this. And they'll still hold me accountable for what I said, even though I already apologized and I've already addressed it, but won't hold him accountable, and they'll just allow him to continue on doing the same stuff, and then just continue on making those justifications and excuses for everything.
Yeah, very big rule in the DCP community is rules for thee, not for me.
That's the biggest rule for them.
I mean, that's got to be your life's motto in order to do it.
I'm sorry, but to have this as a video after things you have said in several videos is a lot hypocritical. Can you two just not? So, as I've debunked everything that he showed, it's not hypocritical at all, because for one, I now speak out against those sort of things, and I wasn't nearly as bad as him. Was I edgy? Absolutely. Was I kind of cringe? Sure. Some people still thought it was funny, and some of it was funny, but it wasn't misogynistic. Maybe the most misogynistic thing I did was say that Kira had a nice butt, and that's about it. Everything else was maybe raunchy, but it's not hypocritical because I don't do those things anymore and I speak out against it. The difference is that he still does it and justifies it and says it works.
I don't know if people actually know what the word misogynistic means when it's applied to real life, or if they just, or hypocritical, or they just heard that word and now use it to just describe anything they don't like. As a woman myself, I've seen a lot of misogyny. I've experienced it. I've seen it happen to my friends, people around me and everything. One of the main words that I would use to describe Dad Challenge Podcast is misogynistic, because of the motive of why he's saying these things. I got a really great comment on one of my videos saying that it really makes them uncomfortable how Josh bashes all of these women, their appearances, he rates their bodies, he comments, he draws pictures all over them in order to, what Josh says, let other women know that they don't have to be perfect. That doesn't make any sense. And it really just seems very mean-spirited.
I actually had somebody comment saying they felt worse about themselves because of him. He said the things that he picks on are like things regular people people who don't exploit their children do. And this person said that they were fine with themselves until they watched DCP's content, and then now they lost some confidence within themselves because he was belittling those same things that, you know, from another vlog mom that she does herself.
That is so sad.
Yeah,
To
that's
that
really
person,
sad.
I am so sorry that his words had that effect on you. But also, I'm not invalidating how that person felt, but also remember who it's coming from and think about if you really value Josh's opinion that much. I know that words can hurt, but also let's look at the source and think,
Yeah,
is this a
exactly.
credible, valid opinion on what I should be looking like?
I don't think he's anyone to talk.
You know, I don't perceive Josh to be the most up to date on the latest women's fashion, you know, anything about women's hair or makeup or, you know, what colors they're wearing. I don't perceive Josh in his flannel shirts to be the most fashionable and body image for women conscious. I do not see him as any kind of authority to give his opinion, and I find it incredible and not in the good way.
Dude, all you're doing is see if this is your attempt on getting promoted on his channel. It obviously isn't working. I used to watch you both, but you're too desperate for views. Deuce. My videos on him weren't an attempt to gain views. Did I know they would get views? Yes. But isn't that the point of YouTube, is to get views?
Yeah, nobody is going to make a video and, you know, spend hours recording and editing and, you know, and sometimes writing their scripts and researching, you know, the topic of their video to put it out there and be like, wow, I hope no one watches this.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's going to do that.
Anybody who, you know, puts a video out there on YouTube, they do it for some sort of recognition. But I didn't do it just based upon for the views. I knew it would get views, but I made the video as a clapback after he tried to slander me and defame my name, which I find it funny. I can guarantee you that this person is not in his comment section saying the same thing that she's telling me right now. Guarantee you that she's not doing that within there.
Why did Josh make a video about you if it was just to start drama? You know, he just wanted views. He just wanted to start drama with you. So why did he make that video? The logic, if we apply one thing to one person, it's not always applicable, but it's the most responsible thing to do to see if it applies to the other person when you're trying to make some sort of concrete statement. Which is why I always say that my opinion is fallible. When I have more information, my opinion may change, and I will be very clear that my opinion has changed based on, you know, A, B, C, whatever the criteria is. But again, these people always want to come after somebody else, anybody who critiques them, not just you, but I've seen it on many other people's channels who have called him out, and they're always saying, oh, you're just going after Josh because you want drama and views. You just want him to clap back at you and give you attention. I know that a lot of things online are for drama and clout or whatever, but even if that were true, it's not like that automatically invalidates a lot of the criticisms that people have about him.
I come online and I'm open and really transparent about my goals. I expose people for money. I do it for money. Why? Because that's what I want to do. I'm not going to do it for free. I'm putting hours and hours and hours into this stuff. I'm not going to just do it for free. Josh is somebody who will tell his community that he would do it for free, but doesn't do it for free. And all the revenue that he has only goes to his pocket. So he wouldn't do it for free and still does not do it for free. And he even tells people to buy him coffee. But this person who is telling me that I'm just stirring up drama to get promoted on his channel, bro, I don't want to be on his channel. Why would I want to be on his channel? I don't like him.
Yeah, it's kind of when there was a comment on our KK Baby J video that said you're just jealous, and I think you said something along the lines of they're getting sued. Why would I be jealous? You know, it's like they're not in a really favorable position.
DCP's community will say the same thing. Oh, you guys are just jealous. Of what? Of what? We don't want his community. We don't want his following. I'm not a jealous person. I'm not jealous because DCP has more subs. I don't want his subs. We don't want DCP's community. We have our own.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I am not jealous of, it is a 40-something-year-old man sitting in his basement ripping apart women for the dumbest things ever. Honey, I ain't jealous of that.
If anyone's jealous, it's them, because people who nitpick the way they do are the people who are truly jealous of them. I mean, DCP is a failed family vlog channel.
Who's trying so hard to get Josh's attention? Is it the people that put out videos criticizing him, or is it the people that are constantly in his live chats, constantly in his comments section, in his Facebook group, you know, buying his Patreon? Who's really trying to get Josh's attention here? I don't really think that it's us.
So you're saying that, oh, you're only doing this to get views. For one, if you guys are the ones that are watching it, then don't watch it then, and then we wouldn't get any views, right? I mean, majority.
They can't help it though.
They
literally can't help it.
No, just like their leader. And I get way more positive feedback than I do negative on my DCP videos. Way more. The like to dislike ratio ain't even comparable. People who don't agree are more likely to dislike and comment than people who agree when it comes to content. So they would, especially because DCP's community is so cult-like, they would dislike bomb and spam your comment section. They do that to the creators, like the bigger creators like My Knight and such, but they're, you know, they don't do it to us because they know we're right. Majority of people know we're right. They just will say, oh, he has this many followers and you only have this many. It's like, what does that matter? Like, majority of my comments are against him. He never told anyone to go harass Bree and her family, and he didn't mean to show her address. If you go look at his video, you will see that the whole thing is blacked out. So first off, the video is actually completely gone. The video was up for almost an entire month before it was actually taken down, and it was a couple weeks before he even tried to blur it out, which blurring out doesn't even matter because he still was naming off landmarks and the beaches and stuff around her home. So blurring it out doesn't matter. And then his excuses as to why he did it were pathetic. He said he wanted to know how far Target was away from her home. What does that matter?
The circumstances around finding somebody's address in this case, I think, are super weird. Definitely. I can't think of any good reason why somebody would be really that curious as to find somebody's address in order to find their proximity to a Target. I don't see how that information is useful or pertinent in what he's talking about. If that was a genuine mistake, like this person says, if he really did not mean to, if it was just a complete oversight, if for some reason his motives for finding the address in proximity to a Target was completely genuine, that video should have come down as soon as somebody brought it to his attention. Not to mention, you and I both edit videos. You don't just like do a quick couple edits and then just like throw it up, you know?
No, you go through
kind of, you know, little mistakes, things here and there can be left in, but not when it's like, oh, here I am, and here it is on the screen. You have to overlay that, so you can't not see that.
But which you called an oversight, by the way.
Which you called an oversight. If you've never edited a video, that's not how overlays work. When you're doing a picture in a picture, you have to physically look at that picture to put it on the screen. So that's kind of my biggest indicator for this is a big old flop of a comment, because if he genuinely didn't mean to, he wouldn't have left it up, and then he wouldn't have left it up while it was processing the changes, and then it wouldn't have taken him even longer to take it down. So if anything, if we're giving him the complete benefit of the doubt, his actions afterwards were very, very bad and not really conducive to this. It was an accident story, which is why I totally don't believe it.
No, yeah, it wasn't an accident. And even if it was, why are you looking up somebody's address, dog? Where'd you get it? Oh, she blamed her for it. Or he told his community that it was her fault that he did that. He speaks out against the dangers of online and the potentials of somebody dangerous coming to their home because of them being too personal. But then he goes and he takes her address, Google's Earth it, and then shows it on his platform, was naming off landmarks and beaches around her home. Like, he's literally the predator that he speaks out against. This is the guy who advocates for online safety. He is the predator. He is the guy.
This is the guy that can and will find your address if you share too much information. He talks about how anybody can do that. Yeah, Josh, you're the living proof. You did it. You are the creepy guy stalking this family and putting pieces together and finding addresses. What is that?
And he said he doesn't care what his haters say. They're just going to get over it and move on from it. That right there is like proof that he doesn't have any accountability. And his robots just say the same thing. Be like, well, he already apologized and we should move on. I'm like, yes, that's what your master told you to do. He told you just to forget and move on away from that. But he blamed her in the video and had a horrible excuse as to why he did that. And you guys are, well, we guys just forget and forgive and move on. But this is the guy who's supposed to be the voice of reason. Yet at every turn, he's always putting some sort of family in danger.
Accountability has no expiration date. And to this day, I still feel like Josh has really not taken true accountability for doxing her. I would like to see that happen. I think it would be a really big step for him to come to his community and say, hey, you know, I was feeling defensive in the moment and I said these things to try to explain it, and there just is no excuse. But we all know that he's not going to do that. I would love to see it. I think that would be great for him to do, but he won't.
No, because his content works. You know what I mean? His community just allows whatever to happen, and they don't care what family he puts in danger. And I even saw a comment, somebody asking him if he's going to address like all of our videos about us throwing out all of these allegations against him that he's, you know, doxed me and other creators. And he said he's going to nothing us. And I'm like, well, why didn't you do that before? You know what I mean? Before you my name and before you other people or try to put other people in danger, because that's just who he is. There's nothing else he can really do. He's, you know, we're all going to speak out against him, and he's done whatever he did to other people, and we're showing him that we're not afraid of him or his scare tactics or anything like that, and we're going to keep on pressing him. I mean, he just put a, you know, a strike against None of the Housewives video, and
I saw that.
She already posted a teaser for the next one.
I think it's really kind of a losing battle, and he's only going to make himself worse by abusing these systems that YouTube has in place to protect creators whose content are, you know, being taken advantage of or used inappropriately, or, you know, whatever he wants to claim. The YouTube system isn't great as far as this goes, and this is just like add another one to the list of people who abuse YouTube's, you know, content system for their own personal gain or their own personal wants.
Eventually will come to an end, because those people who abuse it always lose it.
It's gonna happen. I don't know how or when, but it usually comes back around to bite him.
He's gonna fall, and he's not even gonna see it happen. It's just gonna happen, and it's gonna happen because of him. That's what all these people do, is that whether it's DCP or a vlogger, it's always their fault.
And I have a feeling, a little inkling, that Josh is not going to be a gracious loser.
No, of course not. If he's so bad, how is his channel growing and yours isn't? He's saying that children shouldn't be used in exploitation to get family vloggers and such to gain wealth. But I'm guessing you're a hater instead of helping this cause. Josh doesn't put his children on YouTube. He does his video after everyone has gone to bed. Now, you know this if you followed him for a long time. What the hell do they mean by he does his videos after people have gone to bed? Is it like the not suitable for work type thing? Is that what he's talking about?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I would, if I was saying
like lunchtime.
If I was saying the things that Josh was, I would probably also put my children to bed so that they didn't have to hear me speak like that.
Right. I'm assuming it's like after hour sort of talk, because he puts his videos at like noon. So, but my channel is growing. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And then if you actually go compared to sub to view ratios, mine are destroying his. He might get lucky to get half his community to watch one of his videos, while usually on mine, I'm upwards of 80 to like 120% on my videos each post.
The high numbers and stuff as far as sub count and everything are like really cute, but if you're not seeing that engagement translated from your subs to your views and your engagement, it really doesn't mean anything except for you just being able to say, I have 100,000 subscribers.
Why would I be jealous of a guy who sometimes only gets 1/5 of his sub count to watch his videos?
I would like to think, I would hope that people that are two sides, say you and DCP, I would really, really hope that they could not just focus on numbers and listen to what people are saying, because I think that's really important. If you're just going to say this person is invalid because they have this many subs and this person is valid because they have this many subs, first of all, you are not doing justice to your argument at all. I just think that people should actually listen to both sides. And if you end up disagreeing with one side that you thought you may originally agree with, or if you still agree with the same side you thought you would go into it agreeing with, that's fine. But just at least listen and make an informed decision and really think about it. I think that's something that most people are like very much lacking critical thinking when it comes to like drama and tea and blah, 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 and all that stuff. Because comments, you can always delete them, but there's always going to be somebody that reads them. They may not represent themselves as somebody that can formulate a good argument.
Right. And I think it's a good point saying that, his community getting caught up in numbers. And I think that's super telling because
it's the only thing they can rely on.
It's not supposed to. Well, that's the thing, though. It's not supposed to be about that. It's supposed to be about the cause, right? About the children. It's not supposed to be about who has the higher sub count or who gets the most views or who gets the most money or comments or whatever. It's supposed to be about the children. So it's very telling when his community or even Josh goes, I have a higher sub count than you, so I matter more. It's not supposed to be about that, though, right? It's supposed to be about the children and the child exploitation and bringing awareness to all that. But you're caught up in numbers, and his community does it all the time, and it's their only argument that they have. Again, I had somebody say that they don't watch Josh for family vloggers; they watch him for him, which is total hogwash because the dude has been on the platform for 8 years, and 6.5 out of those 8 years, he literally had no following whatsoever. And outside of the platform, he was on multiple other platforms making podcasts and stuff. He even has a podcast about Teslas that they told nobody about. They just stopped because the Microsoft stuff popped off and he gave up on it. So he has all these things where he was trying to make money on, and this is the one thing that took after 6.5 years, and he went with it. But it's not supposed to be about numbers, and that's what they're making it about. And again, it's super telling that they don't care. Like I said, they said that they watch Josh for Josh and not about family vloggers. But hold on, though. Like I said, it's not true because of A, B, and C. But aren't you supposed to be watching Josh for like message, but not for him? You know what I mean? It's just, they're super confusing.
I think I've heard somebody else say this. I can't remember who though. So if I'm not trying to steal your argument or your thought on it. It was just a very, very good thought. So if Josh's community sees numbers as validity, well, he's calling out these family vloggers that have millions of followers. So by that logic, the family vloggers are right and Josh is wrong because he has less subscribers. But wait, that's not actually correct, right? Not according to them. Because if we apply that logic, well, Ace family and, Jess fam, they have way more subscribers than Josh does. So by their logic, that immediately invalidates anything Josh says.
Just because DCP has a bigger following than me doesn't mean he's right. And then you go, well, he has 100,000 people. Not 100,000 people can be bad, right? Well, here's an example of a lot of bad people. It's a giant group of people that are bad people. It's just an example. Obviously, I'm not calling all of DCP's community. The point is to show that, yes, just because you have a lot of people within your group doesn't exempt you from being bad people.
How about let's base our opinions on ideas? How about let's base our opinions on what people have done and said? Let's base our opinions on the impact that that's had on people.
Exactly. Instead of focusing on the numbers. Like I said, it's just super telling about DCP and his community and their intentions, as in they don't really care about the message and that they just watch because Josh is there. I mean, that's what that person literally told me, that they watch Josh for Josh, but that not about family vloggers. Okay, so then you're not about the message and you're about Josh. That's just what it comes down to. They openly admitted that to me. Person also said that I don't do anything because I speak out against Josh or because I'm a DCP hater. I have a channel where I speak out against the same people or other people who hasn't talked about maybe the same things sometimes or other things, more complex and well thought things than he speaks about, because he just says things are dumb and stupid. And I've done a lot more than a lot of the people within his comment section have done. Just because you report a vlogger a million times doesn't mean you did anything. Anyways, all you jealous haters, that's about it. So there's one more thing I want to add to one of those comments where that person said that DCP doesn't show his children on his YouTube channel, but he does. He actually used them in a video to make a mockery video or parody or whatever of like family vlogging, and he put the children in there to like make his point, but he used his children to make a point. He monetized his own children and made money off of them without their consent, and children can't consent. They're in that video making him money. He monetized and exploited his children to make a point. Not to mention, he does have his children dancing around on his YouTube still to this day in nothing but a diaper. So yes, he does actively have his children on his platform. And it was probably in this very video where I showed that was the case, because this is my clapback video. This was the video where I showed that his children were still on his channel. And did you not watch the whole thing? Because that's what it seems like.
Yeah, and isn't that what he got Not Another Housewives video taken down for, was privacy, because his children were, and might I add, very well blurred out, but they were just, the figure of them was on there, and he struck that down.
Yeah, and which I blurred them out.
But he's not going to take them off of his channel.
No, of course not. And to be honest, like, to me, I feel like he's doing that, wants to be like, I can get away with it. You know what I mean? I can have them on my channel and speak out against the same things. Have them on channel. My community won't hold me to it. All right, well, that's all we got today, guys. Thank Cold Tea Queen for coming on again. I know a lot of people enjoyed you on the last one.
Yeah, I read all of the comments, and thank you guys for all your support. And I'm sure we'll have more collabs in the future, so I'm really glad that you guys are liking them.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate all the support, and we enjoy doing these a lot. We have so much fun. Or speaking for myself, I hope you have fun. We have so much fun.
Yeah, you're all right.
So, just all right. Yeah. Pretty run of the mill, pretty mid. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. Oh yeah, we're gonna have another one on my channel right after this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but anyways, go to her channel, subscribe. We need to get her to 1,000.
Bye.